what if the legendary Sword of Excalibur wasn't just a myth? Could there really have been a weapon so extraordinary that it inspired the tales of King Arthur? And if it existed, where is it now? The story of Excalibur, the magical sword said to have been wielded by the once and future king, has captivated imaginations for centuries. Was it truly a blade forged by supernatural forces? Or could it have been an exceptional, real-world artifact that gave rise to the legend? To understand the origins of Excalibur, we must first journey back to the medieval texts that gave life to this tale. Early accounts, such as Geoffrey of Monmouth's, and later works like Thomas Mallory's, paint vivid pictures of a sword that was more than just a weapon. It was a symbol of divine authority and unshakable power. But where did these stories come from? Some historians believe the legend of Excalibur may have been inspired by real swords of ancient and medieval Europe. Take, for example, the swords forged during the migration period, often imbued with intricate designs and believed to hold magical properties. The craftsmanship of these weapons was so advanced for their time that they seemed otherworldly, creating the perfect foundation for a mythical tale. Then there's the tale of how Arthur acquired Excalibur. According to one version, the sword was given to him by the Lady of the Lake, a mysterious enchantress who emerged from the water to bestow the blade upon the rightful king. But in other versions, Excalibur is confused with another legendary sword, the one Arthur pulled from the stone to prove his worthiness as king. Were these two swords actually one and the same? Or could they represent two different real-world artifacts that were merged into one legend over time? Some intriguing theories suggest Excalibur might have been based on ceremonial swords used in ancient Celtic rituals. These were often associated with lakes or rivers, as water held sacred significance to the Celts. In fact, archaeologists have discovered numerous swords deliberately deposited in bodies of water, possibly as offerings to the gods. Could one of these ritualistic weapons have inspired the story of Excalibur? There's also the matter of Excalibur's alleged powers. Medieval texts describe the sword as being unbreakable, razor-sharp, and capable of blinding Arthur's enemies with its radiance. While such abilities may sound fantastical, they could be rooted in the technological advancements of the time. Pattern-welded swords, for instance, were forged with intricate layers of metal, making them both strong and visually striking. Could a particularly well-crafted sword have sparked the legend of Excalibur's magic? One fascinating clue comes from Norse mythology, which also features magical swords like Gram, the blade of the hero Sigurd, capable of cutting through anything. This parallel suggests that the idea of a supernatural sword was not unique to Arthurian legend, but part of a broader European storytelling tradition. Could the legend of Excalibur have borrowed elements from these earlier tales? But what about the sword itself? If Excalibur was real, where might it be today? Some claim it could be buried alongside King Arthur in his mythical resting place, often associated with Glastonbury Abbey. Others believe it lies hidden beneath a lake, waiting for a time when Britain needs it most. In 2017, an 8-year-old girl made headlines after finding a medieval sword in a lake in Cornwall, a region closely tied to Arthurian lore. While it wasn't Excalibur, the discovery reignited interest in the possibility that some truth may lie behind the legend. Ultimately, Excalibur's power lies, not in its physical existence but in what it represents, the enduring hope for a just and noble leader. Whether the sword was real or a product of human imagination, its legend has shaped centuries of storytelling, inspiring kings, knights, and dreamers alike. So, was Excalibur a real weapon? Perhaps the answer isn't as important as the story itself, a tale that continues to remind us of the extraordinary power of myth and the human desire to believe in something greater than ourselves. What do you think? Could a sword like Excalibur have truly existed, or is it forever destined to remain a legend? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to join us on our next journey through history and mystery here on Epic Time Journeys.